Namaste all.
Namaste, ma'am.
Can anyone tell me what we discussed yesterday?
Letter writing, ma'am. Appreciating someone.
Okay,
Adjective.
appreciating, congratulating, then
Adjectives we saw, and then seeds poem.
okay, seeds poem. So today we will continue with this. What type of adjectives we discussed yesterday? Can anyone recollect and tell me? Kinds of adjectives for class 5.
Comparison, degrees of
Adjectives
comparison.
degrees of comparison.
Yeah. And possessive pronoun.
Okay. Adjectives of quality. Then quantity.
Shape, size.
Okay, that all comes under adjectives of quality.
Adjectives of number also, ma'am.
Numbers, adjectives of numbers, adjectives of quantity. What else? One more. Demonstrative adjectives. Okay, thank you, teachers. Able to share the screen. Manjula ma'am, can you see the screen?
It's yes, it's visible. We can make.
So these are the kinds of adjectives that we discussed yesterday. So based on this, I have a small activity here. Okay, just a recap of what we did yesterday. Now I request the teachers to identify the adjectives and state its kind. Manani is tall, she is smart too. In the first sentence, what are the adjectives? Can you identify the adjective in the first sentence?
Tall.
Tall, smart. What kind of adjective it is?
Quality.
Quality. Great, great. Second sentence, this looks strange.
Strange.
Strange is an adjective of quality. Give me some money.
Some.
Some
Quantitative.
quantity. Excellent. I don't have much work to do.
Much.
Much. What adjective?
Quantity.
Quantity. Great. This bike is not mine.
Mine.
Mine is not an adjective.
No, ma'am, not an adjective.
This bike is not. This what adjective?
Demonstrative.
Demonstrative. Excellent. So mine comes under, it is a pronoun.
Pronoun.
Okay. That is my little sister. That is my little sister.
That and little.
No, here that is a pronoun. Because after that it is followed by a verb. Can you see that? That is. Whereas in the previous example, you can see this bike. Bike is a noun and this is an adjective. Here that becomes a pronoun there. Okay. So that is my little sister. But here little sister, little is an adjective. In the 7th sentence, that girl is my little sister.
That.
Yeah, that is an adjective. What adjective?
Demonstrative.
Demonstrative. Thank you. Her suitcase is not properly locked. Her is what adjective? Possessive. Possessive adjective. So now rewrite with superlative adjectives. So teachers, before we start the class especially for class 5, we should be thorough with all these terms, adjectives and all, so that we will be able to clarify the doubts the children they pose in the class. Okay. So rewrite with superlative adjectives. Dog, faithful, animal, world. You have to insert the superlative adjective and then you have to complete the sentence also. I mean, rewrite the sentence. Can you do this?
The dog is the faithful animal.
Dog is the
in the
most
world.
faithful animal in the world.
Dog is the most faithful animal in the world. Excellent. Thank you. Rewrite the sentence correctly. So the sun is more brighter than the moon.
The sun is brighter than the moon.
Brighter than the moon. Very good. So you can give this type of worksheets. Once you complete the adjectives concept, you can make them to identify the adjectives, all kinds of adjectives you can give in the same worksheet also. Or in the same worksheet, see five questions pertaining to one type of adjective also you can give. So that the children will be familiar with the types of adjectives. We will move on to the next slide. All these things we discussed yesterday: quality, quantity, demonstrative, pronouns, and also the difference between the pronoun and possessive adjective also we discussed yesterday. And comparison of adjectives. So now we are going to discuss about descriptive writing. This we teach them for class 3. Okay, descriptive writing, where they have to describe either an animal or a place. So here they can use lot of adjectives. See, for example, describe your favorite animal. So you tell them how to describe it. So what it is they have to tell. If it is a dog, they have to say, specify the animal there, where it lives, what it eats, and explain why you like it. So these 4 points, you can give them as a clue word on the board and make them to write a small paragraph about the animal. So for example, you can give the clue words here also, because they are going to write throughout the year, they'll be writing about an animal or a place. So you can give them in a rough notebook or any other notebook. No, they can take down the small points also like this, where they live, where an animal lives, whether it lives in the sea or forest, jungle or desert or garden. So all these things you can give them as clue words. Then its physical size. They should be able to describe it, right? Whether it is a huge animal or a small animal, enormous, tiny. So all these words, they should be able to use that in the paragraph. Huge, little, pocket-sized, or even microscopic, or almost as big as a horse. So all these terms you teach them how to describe that particular animal. Then its skin coat. That is whether it is rough or furry, hairy, smooth, slimy, scaly. So all these 4 to 5 words you can give them so that they won't get confused also. Then physical features also. A pointy nose, ears, floppy ears, stripes. It has got stripes all over the body, a long tail, a short tail, short legs, big eyes, 8 legs. So all these things you can tell them how to go about to describe an animal. Then personality also, whether it is a friendly animal or a wild animal or a graceful. So these terms we have to tell them. You can give them as a clue also initially. For 1 or 2 paragraphs, you can give them as a clue. But later the child should be able to write on his own. So this is all about describing an animal. So one more thing we have in class 3, to describe places also. Shantima, please mute. Thank you. So adjectives to describe places, amazing, beautiful, bright, calm place, okay, creepy or crowded or deserted. So 4 to 5 words you can give them. Not all, but then they should be able to explain. See, for example, if we ask them to describe their school, our school topic. So what do you expect the child to write? Can you give me 5 sentences? Teachers?
It's
can-
beautiful.
It's beautiful,
Our campus is spacious.
spacious, excellent. It has tall buildings.
Yes, ma'am. I
Then
discovered with plants and trees, greeneries. So
greeneries. It is surrounded with greeneries. Then it has 4 floors. It has a huge auditorium. Then there are 25 classrooms, you can say. or there are 10 classrooms in each floor. And then my classroom is in,
Spacious classrooms.
my classroom is in 3rd floor. So these are the things we have to teach them when when they are about to describe about their school, and give them the topic that they are able to connect easily. For example, they are coming to school every day. So you can give them that topic, my school, you can ask them to describe. Then small children, they tend to go to a park, right? So you can ask them to describe a park or a zoo also. During vacation time, they go to a zoo or any theme park or even beach. So all these are common places where the child tends to visit, no? So those places, the child, you can give them as a topic and ask them to write also. So adjectives for describing places: beautiful, bustling, charming, compact, cosmopolitan, crowded, exciting. So all these few words you can give them as a clue initially, but then later they are supposed to write on their own. So this is how we ask them to describe a place. This is for class 3 level. So how to describe people? When it comes to people, suppose if you are asking them to describe about their friend. So what are the words? We can give them some clue words like this. See, about their age, isn't it? Suppose if they are asked to describe about their mother or their grandmother or their grandfather. So they will be writing about their age, isn't it? Young, old. So all these words they are supposed to use. They are in their mid-40s or middle-aged or old people. And then they are supposed to describe about their eyes, no? Big eyes, small eyes, blue eyes, no? Black, brown eyes. So they should be able to describe their physical features. And about their, even when it is about, even about their lips also, they can tell thin, full, red color, pink color, something like that. Then about their hair, whether they have a long hair, short hair, spiky hair, straight hair, blonde, brown hair, curly hair, and about the face also, no, the shape, round face, oval, square, long face, and nose also, they should be able to describe, no, pointed nose, big nose, small nose, flat nose. So these terms we have to teach the children. Okay. Then about their build also, whether they look slim or fat or plumpy. So all those things. Then height, whether they are short, tall, or medium height or average height. Skin type also, no, whether they look fair or dark. So these are the things, these are the words that we have to teach them to describe the physical features of a person. Okay. So then we will move on to the next one, words to describe the characters. Manjula ma'am, can you see the screen? I'm not able to see.
Yeah, 5 points, no, ma'am, you have given.
Yes, yes. So
And now
words
it's
to
come.
describe characters. So because we teach them to write character sketch, na, for classes 4 and 5. Even for class 3 also, you can train them to write the character sketch of that. From the lesson, we can train them to write. How the boy is kind-hearted boy. When it comes to that first lesson, what is the first lesson in class 3?
Noise saves the
Noise
whale.
saves the whale, yeah.
He's very-
Kind-hearted, yeah, he's a very clever child, no, intelligent boy, very clever, kind-hearted, very smart. So all these words we can teach them also to describe the character. Swift, polite, well-mannered, courageous, bold, very friendly, very approachable, courteous, thoughtful. No, all these words you can train them. So at least they should be able to describe the character in 1 or 2 words, not more than that. That is more than enough for a class 3 child. When the child comes to class 4 and 5, if we ask them to describe the characters, suppose if he says that boy is a kind-hearted boy, he should be able to justify. From the story, he should be able to justify why we describe him as a kind-hearted boy. So he has to quote some instances from the story. So that also you teach them for classes 4 and 5. These are the positive characters we always tell the children. Why it comes like this? Sometimes, no, we come across some characters like this also: cruel, harsh, unkind, mean, foolish, and lazy. So 2 or 3 words also you can teach them, not more. So try to focus more on positive qualities, so that we are also, in turn, we are building their character, right? So teach them lot of positive words. So 1 or 2 characters they come across like this: unkind, foolish, and lazy, and all. They should also be able to identify those characters as well. So 2 or 3 words like this also you can teach them. There is nothing wrong in teaching them, but tell them to use lot of positive words when they write the character sketch. So here, when it comes to descriptive writing, we also focus on picture composition for class 2 onwards. So the other day, the resource person was telling about the picture comprehension, right? So here, this is all about picture composition. We give them a picture, we ask them to write few words about the picture. Now I request the teachers to give 2 words about each picture. First picture is a tree. Teachers, I need volunteers. Write 2 words about each picture it is given. Can you give me 2 words about the tree? First picture.
Tree, fruits, ma'am.
Fruits, okay.
Orange tree.
Orange.
Orange, okay. Fruits.
Green
Second,
tree.
green tree, okay. Second picture.
Fruits.
Joyful boy.
Boy, okay. Toys, then
The boy is playing.
the boy is playing, okay. The boy is
Shape and
playing with the
colors, ma'am.
toys. He is
The girl
playing with
is run-
shapes and colors, okay. Third picture.
The
Can
girl
see a
is running,
kitten.
ma'am.
The girl is running, okay. One more
Happy
sentence.
girl.
The girl is so happy. Yes. What about the third picture? You can find a small kitten there.
The kitten tried to catch the blue ball.
The
Chases
kitten
the
tries to catch the blue ball. Okay. So you can encourage them. See, for class 1 level, we expect them to write few words about the picture. That is more than enough. If the child is able to write without any spelling errors, that is fine. So when they come to class 2, we can expect them to write at least 1 or 2 sentences about the picture. You can always encourage them. You can draw it on the board also. Small pictures you can draw yourself on the board, and you can ask them to write at least 2 or 3 sentences about the picture. So in this way, we can like integrate or enhance their writing skills. So for class 2 level, we expect them to write sentences. Let me move on to the third picture. Second picture. Yeah, this is the second page. Can you see this? Yes. Can you give me 2 words about 2 words or 2 sentences about each picture? You can see a dog there. Teachers,
The dog is chasing the ball.
the dog is chasing the ball. Okay.
The
Colorful
dog is playing with the ball.
Playing with the ball. Okay. Second picture, butterfly.
A colorful butterfly.
Colorful butterfly. Can you frame a sentence?
The butterfly is
The butterfly
looking so
has-
colorful.
is very colorful.
Very
I
colorful.
like butterfly.
I love butterflies. Excellent. You can see butterflies. I can see butterflies in the garden. No. Third picture.
The
Boy
girl is
is
eating.
watermelon.
Boy
The
is
child
eating a
tastes the
watermelon.
watermelon.
The child tastes the watermelons. Okay. Fourth picture.
The girl
Girl is skipping.
is skipping. The girl is skipping.
The girl is skipping. Okay. Even I love skipping also, they can write. They can add their own experience also there. I love watermelons. I like to play with the dog. I can see butterflies in the garden. So whatever is there in the picture, they can write. Apart from that, one more sentence about their own experience also they can share there. So encourage them to write in that way. Then moving on to this picture composition for class 2 level. This is also for class 2 level. You can give a picture like this. And then you can also give some clue words and ask them to frame sentences using the given clue words. So can you frame sentences for me, at least 5 sentences using these picture clue words?
The children are playing in the park.
Children are playing
Okay.
happily in the park.
Okay.
It is a
Person.
beautiful park.
It is a beautiful park. We can find many
Boys are
children playing
playing-
there.
Two
Okay.
boys are playing with a ball.
Ball, two boys are playing with the ball. Excellent. We can find a girl in the swing. Then two children
The
are in
girl
the
is
seesaw,
swimming
Playing in the seesaw.
happily in the swing.
happily in the swing. Okay.
Two children are playing in the seesaw.
Seesaw, two children are playing in the seesaw.
Some children are playing in the sand. I think it's the sand.
One
Yes,
girl
yes,
is
sand
having
only,
a
yes.
balloon in her hand.
They are playing in the sand with balls. Balloon in her hand, yellow color balloon. Yes, then we can find a kite in the sky. Yes, a girl is flying kite. Excellent. Okay. So you can give pictures like this where the child will be able to write, able to make lot of sentences. Yes. Then let us move on to the next picture. Yes. Here you can see the picture of a beach. So always try to, the child should be able to connect himself with the picture. Then only he will get lot of points. So choose a picture where the child can connect himself. So like you can choose a place where the child goes regularly, a park or a beach like that. So here write 5 sentences about the picture, about the beach, at the beach. Can you tell me 5 sentences? Manjula ma'am, can you please choose some teachers?
Two
No?
boys are eating ice creams.
2 boys are eating ice creams. Excellent. Then
The girls are playing in sandcastle.
they are making sandcastles. Then
Sandcastle.
And few children are playing with
they
the
are
ball,
playing.
the water.
the
children
are
water.
playing with the ball
Swimming
also.
in water.
Yes, they're
Three
playing
children are
ball
playing ball
in the water. Water.
Balls with the balls, and they are playing inside the water with the ball also.
Yes, the children are happy, no? All the children, they are happy. They are happily playing
Happy
there
and they are playing with the sand also.
also. Yes. So here, next to this, here we have a park scene again. One more park scene. So here we can find 4
Here
children
also the children, yes ma'am, 4 children and they are playing.
playing
3
there.
children, 2 children are playing with the ball
Ball.
again.
You
And
can
One
see a
child
is playing the swing.
The
One
dog is
child is
playing with
swinging
a
in the swing.
balloon.
balloon. Yes. The
The
dog
bird
is
is
chasing.
drinking water.
And a boy has a
Bird is drinking, is sitting on the tap. Bird is drinking water also. Yes, down we can find a bird there under the tap.
the dog also enjoying. The dog also running here and there.
Yes, there. We can see lot of plants there, no? Flowering plants,
I can see
butterflies.
more
But
cars
there are 5 butterflies in the garden.
Butterflies in the garden. Excellent. Thank you, teachers. So now class 3, picture composition. So here students are expected to observe the picture. Okay, it can be a single picture or even you can give sequence of pictures also. And you can ask them to write a paragraph about 50 to 75 words, at least 5 sentences. They have to describe the picture. Okay, and you also tell them to give a title for it. The marking scheme is usually we give them 7 marks. Based on this course of study, once we get the course of study, we will let you know if there is any change of marks for this particular section. Then descriptive writing with hints also, describing the given place or a person or a thing in 50 to 75 words. They should be able to organize it in 1 paragraph. So for that, the mark allotment is 8 marks. So you teach them all the clue words and then ask them to write. So here, sometimes a picture will be given like this also. You can see an accident in the canteen. See, using the clue words, the child should be able to write a small paragraph. Can anyone tell me few sentences about this pictures? Helping words are there. Join, noodles, lunch, slippery.
The girls are eating noodles.
The girls are, 2 girls are eating noodles. Excellent. Then what happens in the second picture?
To
Floor
The
is
floor
slippery.
is slippery. That's why the girl fall down.
Okay. But you can also give them some, it is like a story only, no? Even you can give them some names also. Okay, third picture.
Can I say, ma'am?
What
Embarrassed.
happens to the girl? Yeah, she feels so
The girl
Embrace.
is- one girl is
embarrassed.
helping-
And then is somebody
She
helping
joined-
her? Is
Yeah.
somebody helping her? Yes, her friend is helping her, we can say. And then what happens in the fourth picture?
She joined with other friends, ma'am.
Other friends, finally. Okay. So her friend helps and she joins with the other girls also then. So you can tell them to write a small paragraph about the picture or sequence of pictures also you can give them in the class. You can train them like this. You first initially can give them some clue words also and slowly, you try to avoid giving them clue words. Let them write on their own on seeing the picture. So here again, we have a picture. It is a place, no, at the railway station. So can you frame 5 sentences about this railway station? This is also for class 311. At the railway station.
Is crowded.
Crowded, excellent.
The boy is filling
platform is
water.
Water, yes.
Water.
And there's one
A
family.
lady is taking a blue box.
A lady is,
Blue trolley.
trolley, okay. She's carrying.
A
a
man,
trolley.
man
Checking the ticket or collecting the ticket.
Okay, he's taking the tickets or checking the ticket. Yeah, ticket
Mm.
collector, then
The porter is lifting the luggage.
carrying bags.
Porter carrying bags.
Yes. We can even find a food stall there, no? The children or the man is buying something in the at the food stall.
A woman
Yes.
is buying a book in the book
Platform 1.
station.
Platform 1, yes, this is platform 1, excellent. So we are able to, the child will be able to write, make lot of sentences when a picture is given like this, okay? Now at the theme park again. Can you give few sentences about this theme park?
This theme park is very beautiful and colorful. There are many water games.
Water games, water rides are there, yes.
There are two girls playing in the water.
Water rides, okay.
There's one ticket counter nearby the water slide.
Near the water slide, okay.
And
There
Two
are lot
colorful
of games,
parachutes.
yeah, there are lot of games. Parachutes are there, yes.
Two parachutes
You
are
can
there. Some
find-
children are playing in the parachute.
Parachute, okay. Giant wheel also, we can find a giant wheel there, yes. Then we can find some castles also, there, right? Yeah. So these type of pictures you can give, but before you enter the class, you yourself make a small paragraph about the picture. And then you can help the children also there. Like park and beach, we ourselves, we can draw it on the board. I used to draw a park picture on the board for my class children because I love drawing, so I used to do that. So, something like this. One of you, can you read this paragraph about the railway station?
yes, ma'am. A scene at the railway station is usually lively and exciting. Sometimes it can be melancholy
And reflective.
and reflective. In either case, it's a unique and memorable experience. Women are bustling about, carrying bags and children in their arms, while men stride towards the platforms with purpose. The sound of the engines echoing through the stations creates a lovely atmosphere, punctuated by the laughter of children playing nearby. A crowd of people gather around the ticket barriers, eager to buy their tickets and board their trains. We can find hawkers at the station. After a long journey, the passengers finally arrive at their destination. It is many times a railway station where we meet new friends.
Thank you, Mama. It was lovely reading.
Thank
So you can also encourage them to write like this when they come to class 4 or 5. Anyway, they don't have picture composition, but they should be able to use words like this. They should be able to describe it. Okay. So this is all about picture composition. Here again, one more picture I have. Can anyone give me 5 sentences about this particular picture? What happens in the first picture? You can see 2 boys
The
there
boy is wearing a helmet.
wearing a helmet. Are both wearing the helmet or only one is wearing?
Only one boy is wearing a helmet.
Helmet.
They're getting
Okay.
ready for a cycle ride.
Cycle ride, very good. What happens in the second picture?
The
In
dog
between,
chasing
dog
the cat.
came.
The dog is chasing a cat there, right? So what happens?
Unfortunately,
The
the
boy
with an
Now, what happened to the boy without the helmet? What happens to him?
He got
Yeah,
hurt
he
on the
fell
street.
down and got hurt in his head.
Yes. So he gets hurt. Then what happens in the fourth picture? He was
admitted in
hospitalized
the
and he
He
was
was
advised.
and he was treated and he was advised to wear a
It is
helmet.
not
He
serious.
was advised to wear a helmet also. So you can give it a title also for this. And later, see, even for this type of pictures will help them in story writing as well when they come to class 4 and 5. So this type of pictures you can give it for class 4 and 5 also.
We can ask them to give names to the characters also, right, ma'am?
Yes. You can ask them to write. That is a separate topic. Story writing is a separate topic. See, just to encourage them with descriptive writing, we are showing the pictures like this. So that will motivate the child to write some descriptive writing. Okay. So let us move on to the next concept. So this is a small poem about the sun. This is there in your Gulmohar reader 2. Okay, class 2 Gulmohar reader. So before you teach a poem, what is the first thing that we have to do? We have to write the learning outcomes. Okay, and you always carry your lesson plan in your hand whenever you go to the class and write whatever learning outcomes that you expect the child to learn from this particular topic. Okay. So by the end of the lesson, the students will be able to recite the poem with the right intonation. For class 2 level, we will expect them to recite the poem. Even for class 3 level also, we can tell them to recite the poem without seeing the book. Okay. And note the different questions. In this particular specific aim for this particular poem is note the different questions leading to the right answer, because it is in the full poem is in the question form. Then third one is identify what happens to the sun at night. And fourth one, enjoy the rhyming scheme while reciting the poem. So in order to direct the attention of the students, a picture or text each chapter can be used. So you can, if you have the facility to show the animation or the pictures or PPTs, you can do it. Or else you can make it in a chart and then you can show it to the children also. Or even if you can draw it on the board, you can draw the pictures on the board. Teachers, can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Are you showing the animation, ma'am?
No. This is the poem and each chapter of the poem.
We can't see the each chapter.
Okay, sorry. Then I will stop. 1 minute. Now can you see?
Now we can see. Thank you, ma'am.
Can you read this? One of you? Teachers? And before you teach the poem to the class, I mean class 2 level, you can tell them what is a line, what is a stanza. So in prose, we tell them group of words make a sentence and group of sentences make a paragraph, right? So when it comes to poem, we call it as lines. So how many lines can you see in the first stanza? There are 4 lines.
4 lines.
So 4 lines together, they make one stanza. It's not a paragraph. You tell them it is a stanza. And similarly for prose, we tell them the summary of the prose. Whether in poem, we'll tell them the paraphrase. Okay, that is called as a paraphrase. So you tell them to count the number of lines in the poem, count the number of stanzas in the poem. After the after you teach them the poem. So now I request one of them to read this poem for you. The first two stanzas.
The sun. Don't you think the sun is bright? I wonder where it goes at night. Does it sleep or does it hide? Or is the moon its other side? Does it hide behind the hills late at night as outside hills? Do you think it needs to rest? From all that warming, it does the best.
Okay,
Does
so
the
here-
best? Mm.
Yes, ma'am. You are able to see the other, okay, one minute. Yes, can you read this third stanza for me?
Could it even have a home? Maybe in London or even in Rome? Or does it just float around, moving slowly from town to town? Yes, I think it must do that. After all, the earth is not a flat. So the sun goes around and round, spreading sunshine on the ground.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So look at the first stanza here. So it is in the form of a question. Can you see lot of questions in the poem? Don't you think the sun is bright? Does it sleep or does it hide? Or is the moon its other side? So in the first stanza, what does the speaker try to convey? Can anyone tell me? He's asking so many questions. Where the sun goes, okay, when it disappears at night, we see during the day, what happens to it? It shines brightly in the sky. And however, does it sleep at night? So the poet is wondering, does it sleep or does it hide? Or does it hide away from us? The speaker wonders whether we see its other side just like the moon. Or does it hide behind the hills as it grows cold when night comes? Could it be tired and resting? So he is asking whether it is so tired. Could it be tired and resting after warming us so well during the day? So do you think it needs to rest from all that warming it does best? And in the next answer, the poet wonders whether it has got a home also. Does it have a home to go in London or in Rome? Or does it wander homeless from town to town? And then the last question, if you see the last question, seems to provide the answer to all these questions. The speaker finally decides the sun could be going around the earth, since the earth is round. So the poet is giving us a scientific fact also here, no? He concludes it. The speaker finally decides that the sun could be going round the earth, since the earth is round, and it could be spreading sunshine wherever it goes. So what is the message he conveys through the last two lines? What is the message that we are receiving from the poet? It spreads sunshine wherever it goes. What is the value that we are learning? What value we can teach the children from this?
Maybe wherever you go, you spread kindness and love.
Excellent, excellent. So wherever you go, you should shine brightly like the sun, you know. It gives us warmth and sunlight. So these children should have a broad smile on their face, no? As a class 2 child, they should feel happy always. Wherever they go, they should shine and they should feel happy. They should have a smile on their face. So many things we can tell them through this poem. So now we can play the animation for the children. So before you teach them, you can even have some warm-up questions like this. Ask students, when can you see the sun? What is the answer for this? When can you see the sun?
During the day.
During the daytime.
The day,
Very
daytime.
good. Daytime. List the ways in which sun is useful to us.
Gives light.
It gives light. It gives warmth. Yes. Then
It's helpful for the plants to grow.
plants, excellent. It helps the plants to grow. So many points you can discuss with them.
And we get vitamin
D, I
Ah,
guess.
they get vitamin D. Very good. Can you see the animation?
Don't you think the
Yes,
sun
yes.
is
It's
bright? The Sun by Gareth Lancaster. Don't you think the sun is bright? I wonder where it goes at night. Does it sleep or does it hide? Or is the moon its other side? Does it hide behind the hills late at night as outside chills? Do you think it needs to rest from all that warming it does best? Could it even have a home? Maybe in London or even in Rome? Or does it just float around, moving slowly from town to town?
So this animation, you can show them one more time also, and you can discuss the thing, the poem with them very slowly. Okay. So, now answer these questions based on the poem. Pick the correct answers. The speaker thinks that the sun sleeps at night. Teachers, can you answer these questions? Is it true or false? The speaker thinks that the sun sleeps at night.
True.
True. Hides behind the hills.
True.
True. Becomes the moon in the night. Becomes the moon in the night.
False.
Becomes the moon in the night. Is it
True,
false?
ma'am. True.
True. Because the
True,
moon
ma'am.
reflects, no? Ah, it is on the other side, and it moreover the moon gets light from the sun. The moon gets the light from the sun only, no? So you tell them that fact also when you're teaching this particular line, okay? Hides behind the clouds at night. No, false. Behind the hills only it is given in the poem, not behind the clouds. Goes back to its home to sleep. Yes, true. True. Hides in the forest.
False, ma'am.
False. Goes around the earth.
True, ma'am.
Yes, that is a fact also. Yes. So now what does the speaker think the moon is? The moon is the other side of the sun. That is what the speaker says, right? According to the speaker, what is the sun's hiding place?
Hills.
Behind the hills. Why does the speaker wonder if the sun needs to rest? Why it needs rest? According to the speaker.
Roaming around and around, ma'am. So
Yes, it is moving all around the world. It is spreading so much of light and it also gives a lot of warmth to the world. So it needs some rest. According to the poet, it needs some rest. But does the sun takes rest?
No, ma'am.
No, that we have to teach the children. Okay? That also we have to tell them scientifically what happens. So now tell me the opposite for these words. Wake up.
Sleep.
Sleep. Inside.
Outside.
Outside.
Cooling. Warming. Quickly. Slowly.
Slowly.
We move on to the next one. So here it is given, find the 8 pairs of words that rise in the poem. So for class 2 child, we are teaching them rhyming words also. So can you identify the rhyming words in the poem? The first answer, what are the ryming words?
Night,
Bright night,
Bright
bright
side,
side,
Hide,
chills,
Rest
rest best, home, around town, that flat, ground. So maybe according to the new course of study, we might give them notes also for class 2 children. But once if we get, after we get the course of study, we will discuss this in the meeting, June month meeting. Okay, how to go about with the notes and all. So try to give the book back exercises only for this class 2 children. Maybe for class 3 children, you can go to the higher level also, as mentioned in the reader. Always refer the course of study if you are following this particular book in your school. And then after this, one more thing we have to teach them. We are not teaching them poetic devices exactly for class 2 children because they cannot understand. But then in the book back exercises, a question is given like this. A speaker talks about the sun as if it were a person. Okay, because he asks questions like this. Do you think it needs to rest? Could it even have a home? So all these lines tells us that the poet is imagining the sun as a person. So that poetic device is called as a personification. So this part alone you can tell them. No need to use the term personification, but you can tell the speaker talks about the sun as if it were a person. So they should be able to identify what sentences are there. Okay, this you can give it as a small activity for them at the end of the lesson. So now I will stop sharing this. Let us move on to the last part of the session is assessment. This is about assessment. Why do we conduct assessment, teachers?
To know the level of the student.
To know the level of
Check
the student.
To check whether how have understand.
Check how
How
much
they have
children have understood.
Understood about the topics, about the concepts. In
Whether
English,
the
are
learning
we
outcomes are achieved, ma'am.
whether the learning outcomes are achieved? Excellent, very good answer. So whatever we have taught them, whether they have understood, whether the learning outcomes are achieved. So once, do you have the habit of writing the, I mean, whatever you have achieved after you teach the lesson, whether the child is based on the child's understanding? Do you write any review in your lesson plans? Teachers, can you hear me? Do you have the habit of writing any review about the particular topic after you teach? The reflective log, especially. Reflective log means you should, it should contain like how many students, what they understood. And if there is any difficulty in a particular child, you have to mention it there after the topic gets over. No? If the child is not able to understand the topic, or if you have repeated the topic again in the class. So that is called as a reflective log. So once you teach the topic, before you start the topic, you write the learning objectives. Then after that, you teach them, isn't it? One methodology you will follow and then you will teach them. And after that, you will write a reflective log also, where you will state that that lesson has been taught. Most of them understood this concept. Few of them had doubts. So this particular topic was most of them, if the most of them did not understand the concept, means you will, through a test, you will come to know about that, isn't it? Suppose if you are teaching direct and indirect speech, you will know this particular concept to be reiterated in the class so that the child will understand better. So in such cases, you can write in the reflective log, this lesson will be, this topic or this concept will be taken again in the forthcoming session. And then you can write it in that reflective log. After the teaching part gets over for the second time also, then you can mention it there. Now the students have understood. But still, again, 1 or 2 children, if they have a difficulty in understanding the concept, those students' names also you can mention it there. So this will help you a lot. Writing the reflective log will help you a lot. So similarly, we are conducting the assessment also, like, isn't it? To test their knowledge or test their understanding, to see whether the learning outcomes are, whether it has been well received or not. So this is for class 1. This is a pattern that we follow in class 1. PT1, usually it is for 50 marks. Yes, ma'am. Padmavati ma'am, any doubt?
Sorry, ma'am, by mistake, ma'am.
Okay. So class 1, PT1, it is only for 50 marks. Okay, so the breakup is given like this: reader lessons for 25 marks, grammar for 25. So whatever concepts you teach according to the course of study, grammar part is, it is for 25 marks. Reader lessons also in the classwork, this is a pattern that we follow. So once you teach the lesson, you give them dictation words. That is very, very important. For classes 1, 2, and 3, we give them dictation words. But dictation words will be tested as a part of the internals. Okay, not here, not in the exam. See, I have seen in some of the question papers that I received from few associate schools, dictation words were, dictation test has been included as a part of the assessment. That you can have it as a part of internal assessment, not here in the main paper. But then I do not know how you are conducting as a main exam here, and especially the dictation words, when some other invigilator is going to be there. That is not possible. So you can have it as a part of internals. Here for this particular assessment for PT1, the reader lessons, it goes according to the topics like this. See, opposites, singular, plural. We are testing them past tense also. So give them words from the lesson. Okay, you choose those tense forms where you can make past tense for the children. So singular, plural also similarly, you can choose the words, the nouns you can choose and give them the singular, ask them to make plural. Okay, then present tense, past tense also will be tested. Then fill in the blanks. Either you can refer the book back exercises or you can frame your own fill in the blanks. At least 2 or 3 you can give from the lesson, not more than that. Question answers also, simple question answers. No book back exercises, you can follow that. Then who said this? For class 1 level, we are focusing only on who said this, who's the speaker, only that much. Then frame sentences, you can give them few words, 2 or 3 words in the classwork. That is more than enough. So this is the classwork notes pattern that we follow here. Okay. Then grammar exercises, of course, in case if you are the paper setter, you go through the exercises given in the grammar book. You can have the same headings given there, and then you can choose the exercise there. According to that, you can frame the questions in the question paper. When it comes to term 1 exam, it is for 80 marks. Term 1, PT2, PT3, yearly exam, it is for 80 marks. And then the duration is for 2 hours. For PT1, it is only for 1 hour, 50 marks. So here again, we have part A, part B, and part C for class 1. Part A full of literature questions. Okay, reader lessons. Based on reader, we have the questions. Opposites, singular, plural, present tense, past tense, fill in the blanks, answer the following, who said this, frame sentences. It is for 40 marks. Grammar for 35. And general picture comprehension. I think you had a session on this picture comprehension also. How to choose pictures and how to give questions based on that. So that is for 5 marks. So 40, 35 plus 5. So together it is for 80 marks. So here you will get all these things in the course of study. Those who are following our course of study, you will get to know about this. No revision week for PT1 exams. For PT2, the weightage is like this, 70% and 30%. So 70% from PT2 portions and 30% from term 1 portions. Similarly, PT3 also 60% from PT3, 20 from PT2 and 20 from term 1 portions. Term 2 portions, again 70% of term 2 portions. Questions will be based on term 2 portions 70% and 30 from term 1 portions. So this is all about class 1. When it comes to internal marks, see internal assessment to be conducted. See, because if we go to the previous slide, you can see the term 1. It is for 80 marks only we are conducting. So 20 marks we should have internal assessment also. So internal assessment is for 20 marks. So what are the activities that we can give? See, one is the art integrated activity. So that is why we focus more on art integrated activity, whenever we teach a lesson or poem. So poem like seeds, no, you can have art integrated activity. And about lessons also we told them, like if it is a be prepared lesson, you can even ask them to make small dish also. And they can write the recipe for that, how they prepare it. That also they can write as a writing activity. You can give them as an art integrated activity, or drawing and coloring, sticking pictures. So all these things the children, they love to do. So art integrated activity for any lesson or a poem, you can have it for 10 marks. So notebook assessment, it is a continuous assessment for throughout the year we are going to have, isn't it? For all the lessons, you're going to do the correction. They will be submitting their notebooks. You have to check them. So all those things. So that is for 5 marks. Then another 5 marks, you can either have it for dictation, reading, recitation. Those three also continuous assessment. So this is all about internal assessment for 20 marks. So when it comes to term 2, same way art integrated activity for 10 marks. Here you can have listening or prepared speech for class 1 level. Because notebook assessment we had, that can be also a part of continuous assessment. Or you can make art integrated for 5 marks and notebook assessment for 5 marks also. It with the help of your, we can discuss with the parallel teachers and you can come to a conclusion and see what we are also doing. You can attend the meeting. So listening comprehension and prepared speech also you can include there. And then you can include dictation, reading or recitation for 5 marks. So this is for class 1 level. When it comes to class 2 level, see question paper pattern for PT1. It is for total 50 marks. Same way literature 25 marks. And this is the pattern of classwork notes that we give. Opposites we give them class 2 level. Class 2 we give the meanings also. Class 1 we don't give them meanings. But class 2 we insist them, we ask them to learn the meanings. So we give them word meanings, dictation words followed by meanings, then followed by opposites, present tense, past tense, fill in the blanks. Who said this to whom? So for class 1 we had who said this only, who's the speaker. But here who said this to whom? Then we have question and answers, make sentences. Then grammar for 20 marks, reading comprehension for 5 marks. So this is for PT1. Similarly, no revision week for PT1. And PT2 will have the weightage of 70-30. PT3 have the weightage of 60%, 20 and 20. Term 2, same way, 70 and 30. So term 1 exam pattern for class 2 will be like this. Literature 40 marks. Here, one more thing, we will be adding lessons from value education also for all the classes. Class 1 to 5, we will be including lessons from value education. So those who are following our course of study, hopefully you will be having the value education reader also. So you will be asked to teach them that particular lesson. English teacher only should teach. 2 or 3 lessons will be taught by the English teacher. And we have to give them notes in the classwork, English classwork for that particular lesson. So only objective type questions to be given from value education reader, because descriptive type questions we are giving them from the literature part. So focus only on objective type. Either it can be fill in the blanks or match the following or choose a correct answer, say true or false. Those type of questions you can give from value education. Then the pattern is given there for literature. Opposites, past tense test. You can test them on past tense also. Word meanings. And one more thing here, when you are having this particular past tense in the grammar, don't test them past tense in the literature part. Okay. No need to have the repetition. No need to give more weightage for the same concept again and again. Don't have a repetition of that. Word meanings you can have, fill in the blanks, who said this to whom, make sentences, question answers, and only objective type questions from value education. And part B grammar will have, it is for 30 marks, and general comprehension will be for 10 marks. Reading comprehension 5, picture comprehension. So picture with questions we have already discussed in the meeting. We will again discuss in the monthly meeting. So PT2 exams, again it is for 80 marks. So for class 2 also PT1 50, PT2, PT3 80 marks, term 1, term 2 again 80 marks. And this part C general thing alone will be changing. See, we will in the first term we will have reading comprehension and picture comprehension. For term 2 we will have picture composition. Picture composition is different. What we discuss now in today's session, that is picture composition. Where the picture will be given, we will ask them to write a paragraph using the clue words. Then term 1 exams, we will have this internal exam for 20 marks. We will have some activities based on art integrated activities, notebook assessment, then dictation, reading, recitation. So 10 plus 5 plus 5, 20 marks for term 1. Term 2, again, we will have art integrated activities for 10 marks, listening comprehension, prepared speech for 5, dictation, reading or recitation for 5. So then for class 3, can anyone read this for me, teachers, volunteers? Can you read this pattern for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Please, ma'am. Thank you.
Section A, reading 15 marks, comprehension passage, poetry
Poetry
comprehension.
comprehension. So comprehension passage for 8 marks, poetry comprehension for 7 marks.
7 marks.
Okay, section B,
Section
writing.
B, writing 15 marks, any two, either picture composition, descriptive writing, place and animal, paragraph writing, letter writing, inviting or thanking letter. And section C, which is for 25 marks, and section D, literature part, which is for 25 marks.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So in section B alone will be like, no, it will be keep on changing. Or maybe for PT1, you may have picture composition. PT2, you may have descriptive writing, either a place or animal. Then you may have a combination of descriptive writing and paragraph writing, or paragraph writing and letter writing. Okay, or letter writing and picture composition. It will be like that. So section C, 25 marks, and section D, 25 marks. There might be slight changes in the course of study. So once we get the new course of study, we will discuss about this pattern exactly during the monthly meeting as well. So internal assessment, again for class 3 level, it is the same for term 1 and term 2. Here we have best of periodic test, that is for 5 marks. So if it is for, for term 1, if you take, it is for 80 marks. We conduct the exam for 80 marks, 20 marks internals. Out of 20, PT1 marks should be converted to 5 marks, and those 5 marks will be included here. The notebook assessment 5, art integrated activity or LSRW skills. Any one you can choose, it is for 5 marks. Then teacher's discretion on the given topics. It can be multiple assessment also. Recitation, reading, prepared speech, listening comprehension, spell check, role play, extempore, art integration. So you can choose any of these topics or multiple topics also you can choose, and you can allot 5 marks for that. So total 20 marks. This is for class 4 level. Again, we have section A, reading 15, comprehension passage and poetry comprehension we have for 15 marks, together for 15. Section B, writing will have these topics. Okay, if there is any change, we will let you know during the monthly meetings. So paragraph writing, either you will have paragraph writing and informal letter writing. And informal letter writing also, we have few topics here, congratulating and apologizing. All these things we discussed in the meeting, the sessions. And or informal letter writing and narrative in first person also you may have. Or narrative and story writing you may have. Or story writing and writing a message you may have. Or in one test, you may have writing a message or diary writing. So these are the section B writing topics. Okay, we focus on for class 4 level. Then section C, grammar 25 marks, and section D, literature 25 marks. Literature, of course, we have opposites, meanings. Maybe we may not have opposites this time. That also we will let you know. Meanings to be tested, frame sentences, ERC, question answers, and HOTS. Okay, higher order thinking skill questions, at least 1 or 2 to be given. And for term exams, we will have value education lessons also. And here again, we have for class 4 also, we have internal assessment for term 1 and term 2. Best of periodic test we will have. In case of term 2 exam, best of periodic test, either PT2 or PT3. Best of it, we have to choose. Suppose if a child has scored 4 marks out of 5 in PT3 and 3 out of 5 in PT2. So we will choose PT3 marks for the child. Okay, and we will, we will add those marks here. And also his notebook assessment for 5 marks, LSRW for 5, and multiple assessment 5 marks. So total put together 20 marks. So 80 plus 20 for 100 used to calculate and give the marks in the report card. This is for class 4. Then for class 5 also, section A, we have 15 marks, comprehension, passage, and poetry comprehension. Section B, we have writing, paragraph writing, informal letter writing, notice, story, writing a message, and diary writing. All these topics will be dealing with class 5 children throughout the year. Okay. So any 2 topics will be tested for that particular assessment. Section C grammar again 25, section D literature 25 marks. Same weightage, see like this, no revision week for PT1 exam. For PT2, 70 marks from PT2 portions, 30% of term 1 portions. For PT3 again 60% from PT3 portions, 20 from PT2 and 20 from term 1 portions. Term 2 exam again 70% of term 2 topics will be tested and 30% of term 1 portions will be tested. Here again for class 5, we have internal assessment, best of periodic test 2 and 3. This is for term 2. Okay. Notebook assessment for 5, LSRW for 5, and teacher's discretion on the given topics for 5 marks. Any one you can choose. See, for class 5 level, you can have recitation, reading, prepared speech, listening. You can have spell check also. You can have role play. You can have extempo speech. So many topics you can have. It is all about teacher's discretion on the given topics. Any 2 topics you can choose, or multiple topics you can choose, or any 1 topic also you can choose. So this is for 20 marks. Tell me for which classes we give them poetry comprehension.
4 and 5.
3 also. Fine. So we have poetry comprehension for classes 3, 4 and 5. So here I have given a small poetry with few questions on the right side. Usually we test them for either 8 or 7 marks. Okay. So a small poem, a simple poem you can give, and you can make the questions difficult for them or challenging for them. Or if you think the poem is very difficult, then you make the questions easy for the children. Okay. So 1 or 2 challenging questions, of course, you can give them in the poetry comprehension. So one of you, can you read this poem for me, Woods of Flowers? Any volunteer, please?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Woods of flowers. I went to the woods of flowers. No one was with me. I was there alone for hours. I was happy as could be in the woods of flowers. Shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am, please.
There was grass on the ground. There were leaves on the tree, and the wind had a sound of such gaiety that I was as happy could be in the woods of flowers. By James
Stevens. Thank you, Sugandhi ma'am. It was wonderful. So a small poem like this with 2 or 3 stanzas you can choose for class 3 level. So before you introduce them to poem comprehension, in the classwork also you can give them a practice with just 2 stanzas poem. Okay, with simple lines you can give them. You can teach them the poem once, and then you can frame some questions like this. Okay, so where did the poet go? What is the answer for that? Where did the poet go? I went to the woods of flowers. So encourage the child to write in sentences. Always know, even class 4, class 5 children also, they write in words at times. Where did the poet go? Woods of flowers they will write. So from exam point of view, it is correct. We may not penalize sometimes, but you tell them if you write in sentences only, you will be getting that full marks, 1 full mark. Otherwise, we will cut half a mark. Okay, so the child should be encouraged to write in full sentence. Where did the poet go? The poet went to the woods of forest. Here go is given, they should write it in past tense form. Past tense for go is went. So small things you tell them. While writing it on the board itself, you tell them this is how you have to frame a sentence for the question and you have to write. Who accompanied the poet? Suppose if these options are not given, what will be the child's answer? Who accompanied the poet?
No one.
No one,
ma'am.
No one. No, when the child is asked to write the answer in full sentence, so what should he write?
No one accompanied the poet.
Yes, no one accompanied the poet. Okay, starting with the capital letter, ending with a full stop. That also we have to insist that. Okay, so here since the options are given, maybe if we are going to test the child for the first time, you can give them some options like this. Of course, for 3rd standard children, we can always give them 1 or 2 questions like this with options, so that the child will score also. Now pick out the rhyming words, because we are teaching the rhyming words from class 2 level, isn't it? So tell them to pick out the rhyming words from the poem for ground. Here the word itself is given, or you can tell them to pick out two pairs of rhyming words from the poem, so that the child he himself will choose two and then write. So now what is the answer for the question? Pick out the rhyming.
Sound.
Ground, sound. Excellent. What are the other two? Can you identify other two pairs of rhyming words from the poem? Two more.
Me, be.
Me, be. Excellent. Very good.
I, be.
Ground sound already we have given. Flask. Okay, fine. Give another word for cheerfulness from the given poem. Give another word. Gaiety. Excellent. So here the options are given. Okay, when they come to class 4 or 5 level, we cannot give them the options. They should be able to identify the word, synonym or antonym from the poem. And also tell them whenever the words are given like this for them to write, it should be only from the poem. They cannot write on their own. Marks will not be given. See, maybe the answer might be correct. Okay, cheerfulness. Suppose if the child writes happy, it might be correct, but that happy word should be there in the poem. Otherwise, we cannot give them marks. So you tell them it should be from the poem or from the passage. So now how many stanzas are there in the given poem? Three stanzas. So if the options are not given, how the child should write in a sentence form?
Stanzas in the given.
Excellent. There are 3 stanzas in the given poem. So insist them to use a capital letter, full stop, write in full sentences. It should be written in the past tense form. So something like that you have to tell them. You have to keep on telling them. Name the poet. James Stephens. Here again, J should be in caps, S should be in caps. The spelling should be correct. If the child makes spelling mistakes, again we have to cut half a mark. You tell them. Because you're seeing the poem and you're writing it. So the child cannot make mistakes. That also we have to insist them. In the woods, there was dash on the ground and dash on the trees.
Grass and leaves.
Grass and leaves. So option C is correct. Grass on the ground and leaves on the trees. So suppose if the child marks the answer C, will you give full marks?
No, you should write it on the blank.
Blank. Excellent. So you can give them half a mark. We cannot penalize them fully, but then you should tell them the child should write the answers on the blanks. That is very, very important. They should fill in the blanks, isn't it? So this is about poetry comprehension. This is for class 4 poem. So class 4, one of you, can you read this poem for me? Teachers. Any volunteers? Can you read this for me?
Yes,
How good to, yes ma'am, please.
How good to lie a little while and look up through the tree. The sky is like a kind big smile, bends sweetly over me. The sunshine flickers through the lace of it above my head, and twinkles like mother before bed. The wind comes stealing over the grass to whisper pretty things, and though I cannot see him fall, I feel careful things. So many gentle friends are there, whom one can scarcely see. A child should never feel a fear wherever he may be. By Abby Farwell Brown.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So how many stanzas we have for class 4 level here? We have
Four
four stanzas. You can use the same poem for class 5 also, because the words are a little bit challenging. So according to the level of the thing, you have to choose the poem also. So now we will look on the question part. So what is the first question here? Who are the 3 gentle friends that the poet talks about in the poem? Who are the 3 gentle friends? Can you tell me?
Tree, sun,
Hmm.
sunshine, and wind.
Okay. Sunshine, wind,
Grass.
sky.
Sky, ma'am.
Sky.
So here again, you have to see while framing questions. So you can frame WH questions. Okay, one or two like this you can frame. Then you can have and complete the sentence also. Either fill in the blanks or complete the sentence. For class 4 and 5, you can always have complete the sentence. So one part of the answer you give, you ask them to write the other part of the answer. Then choose the correct answers you can give. So like this, you can give the options, ask them to choose the correct answer. Then one true or false. Then when in case of poem comprehension, you can always test them for rhyming words, or even ask them to identify one particular word, or you can ask them to choose one antonym or synonym from the poem also. So that also is a part of the testing part you can give. So WH questions, complete the sentence. Variety of questions you have to have. So WH questions, complete the sentence, choose the correct answer, true or false, rhyming words, or pick out the word from the poem which means the same as or which is the opposite of, or even you can test them the past tense also. So those things you can test. So here, what is the answer for this? Why does the wind come to the child? Why does the wind come to the child?
The wind comes to the child to whisper pretty
Whisper pretty things. Excellent. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Now, complete the sentence. The poet likes to lie under a shady tree and he lies under a shady tree and what he does.
And he look up the sky.
Yes, and look up the sky. Yes, through the tree, he is just looking at the sky. Choose the correct answer. The poet compares the warm touch of sunshine on the face to dash the kisses of the mother to a child before he goes to bed, or the leaves of the tree.
Number one.
The kisses of the mother.
Kisses of the mother. Yes, he compares. No, he is using a simile also here. Okay, in this particular poem, he is using a simile also. The sunshine flickers through the lace and kisses me upon the face like mother before bed. So here the poet uses a poetic device simile. Okay, so while teaching, as a teaching part, you can teach all these terms. While testing also, you can test. For class 5 level, you can even test the poetic device also, if the children are familiar with it. Then say true or false. The natural friends of the poet give him a kind of security and he feels safe.
True, ma'am.
True, very good. Pick out any two pairs of rhyming words from the poem. Any two pairs of rhyming words.
While smile.
While smile.
While
Place,
smile.
place,
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 Grass pass. Near.
Here, see, be.
bed.
Okay. Name the poet.
Things, wings,
Yes,
Happy
excellent.
farewell
Things
song.
speaks. Happy farewell.
face.
Yes. Okay, I will stop sharing this.